right.
Yeah, my character's not set up yet, so.
Okay, hello, everyone. Welcome to session 0, part 2. Alright, so let's go ahead and get some business out of the way now that all of us are on the, relatively speaking, same page. I need to close my main browser window here, because there we go. Alright, so, ground rules. Shauna, what topics are you not comfortable with coming up so that both I and Dustin can work on making sure they don't?
Okay. Um, so as far as my topics go, obviously nothing with rape.
Of course.
Try to avoid drug talk, human trafficking,
Does
and
does pot fall under that, or
pot does not fall under that. I don't care about pot.
okay?
Pot's
Thought I'd
fine.
double check. Thought I'd double check
All right.
because there might be some mild pot usage in this campaign, so it's one of those. I wanted to see if I had to switch it out with drinking,
Yeah.
but
Drinking's fine as well. So
okay,
either direction.
got it. Um,
Yeah, that's why when you campaign drinking.
and here's where I'm going to request one permission to homebrew something. A version of Dronus, the character my brand is named after, is indeed in Avernus because they got mixed up in something back in 3rd edition. Um, if you run into the bar randomly, would that be all right with you, or do you want me to just stick completely to the campaign module and not have that filler episode?
Fine by me.
If it's in the campaign module, it shouldn't be no issue with me.
Right. The bar itself is not. It's one of those. When I played in 3.5, one of the versions of my character wound up there permanently, running a bar for living visitors, which you will be living visitors to hell when we go there. So I just thought I'd go ahead and get that bit of homebrewing permission out of the way. Okay.
All right.
Isaac, is there anything that you do not want brought into this?
Let me grab him. Because I had to use the restroom for him to clean his glasses.
Got it.
Do you have any subjects you don't want brought up? That gets a little touchy?
None I can think of.
And you, Dustin, you are the no hold bards.
Oh, gee, thanks.
No, is there anything? Because if there is, it would be good to know.
Really, really, Dustin.
Not that I can think of.
If you think of something, feel
Paul?
free to let us know at any point. Same
Yeah.
goes for you,
Hey, Paul.
Shauna. Yeah.
Okay. Here's a fun one.
Also, it's Tony. No.
Tony. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize.
It's perfectly fine. It's not just I went by it while working. It was I was trying to come to terms with who I was, and Tony's the only gender-neutral variant on my legal name, so I don't have to change it.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I switched back and forth for a little while because I wasn't sure. But yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I've always said Tony.
all I have to say on the part involving what Dustin's comfortable with is Gremlins.
Okay, so
You're gonna bring up the gremlins. You're gonna bring up those gremlins, huh?
give me a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and
One
add a screen share to the recording real quick while we're doing this. I'm gonna go ahead
Okay.
and make it where it's the same size as me. Change it to the other tab. There we go. And I'll get D&D Beyond up. Done. Here we go. Shauna,
Yeah.
you're in the character creator, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so for the purposes of explaining how character creation works, I'm going to go ahead and make another character sort of alongside you. so that anyone who views this can see how it works in D&D Beyond. So you clicked a create character, right? When you click the join button, okay? It gives you 3 options: standard, quick build, or randomize. I recommend using standard.
Okay.
Once you've gotten to standard, you can click on the name box and type in your character name. I'm not going to change mine, but you can go ahead and do that and let us know what the name of your character will be. And if you want to randomize a name, there is a randomize button above it.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. You can be given a random name.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna go with that one. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm able to pronounce it and not butcher the crap out of it.
Sure thing, Futaba. We're all big SMT and Persona stans here, so
Don't judge me.
no judgments. As I said, I'm a big stan too. So, what name did you wind up going with?
I'm still looking for the random ones.
Okay.
To narrow it down, it would be great if you chose a race too first beforehand.
Well, we're gonna go through this in the order it has it on the character builder here. That way, she can then pick the things based around how she feels the name speaks to her. That's how I create my characters. Like, almost all of mine are Geronuses, and almost all of them are half-elves, elves, Warforged, or... There was the one time I played a human. The one. Her name was Brunhilde. She wasn't even really a human anymore. She was a zombie who had been given her sentience back. She sang death metal. She was a bard. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't sing death metal now. I can't do it. The Brunhilde in the song series I'm doing is singing sort of half pop, half classical. So, yeah, I went more musical theater for.
I found one that I like. I'm gonna go with Rava.
Okay. Nice. All right, so there will be.
Ra or Rama? Raba or Rama?
Rava. R-A-V-A. Rava.
Rava.
Okay.
Rava.
The clearing of it.
Rava with the glow sticks in hand.
I'm done.
I'm done with
I'm done. Done with you people.
Sorry. All right, so underneath the name, it should have a section that says character preferences. Let me know what boxes you have available to tick on and off for source material.
Okay, homebrew content, critical role content.
Tick that one.
Playtest content.
Tick that. Tick both critical role and playtest so far.
Okay. Magic the Gathering content.
If it isn't already ticked, please tick it.
Okay.
I prefer
Eberron
all of them.
content.
Right. Go ahead. If it is already ticked, leave it. If it isn't ticked, tick it.
Okay. Rick and Morty content.
Tick it.
Oh God. No. No. Just no.
And non-core.
Non-core D&D.
Tick it.
Got it.
All right. Further down. For the first little bit, we're going to be doing milestone, but later on, it's going to be EXP. So in the advancement type, click the box and click EXP or XP.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Hit point type, we're doing rolls. So tick it to manual instead of fixed.
Okay.
I am using the prerequisite requirements, so if feats and multi-class requirements are already ticked, leave it. If not, make sure they're ticked over to the red.
Okay.
Show level scaled spells as well. So display and highlight available spells to cast with higher level spell slots. Make sure that's ticked, because that's actually a preference for your character sheet. Encumbrance type, if it says use encumbrance, leave it alone. If not, make sure it says that.
Okay.
The section that says ignore coin weight, do not tick it. Coins, way.
Okay.
Like, you have to carry around gold and silver and platinum. It's heavy. Also have
Oof.
modifiers top, so it's easier for you to see, so the modifiers will be in big numbers instead of the actual score. And then
Okay.
make sure you've toggled your character privacy to public, so I'll be able to view it.
Okay.
Then, go ahead and scroll back up to the top, or hit next.
Hit next.
Okay. Now here is where things get customizable. This is the laundry list of literally every single subspecies of metahumanity that you are able to play. And there are drop-down menus
Interesting.
for the ones that break down.
Okay. Well, much like one of my other campaigns that I wanted to be involved in, has nothing to do with you guys. I'm gonna go with the Water Jedi.
Okay.
Nice, nice. Let me go ahead and click on that so I can show them. Sorry if it got a little muffled there. I had to move the mic away so I could take a sip of my Coke. Alright. Your racial traits, you get a +2 bonus to Constitution, Air, Earth, Fire, or Water sub-races. You are Water. You get the ability score increase to Wisdom as well, Acid Resistance. You are Amphibious. You can swim. And you get the ability, known as Shape Water, as a cantrip. Once you reach 3rd level, you can cast Create or Destroy Water as a 2nd level spell once with the trait, and you regain the ability to cast it that way after you've finished a long rest. A long rest is 8 hours of constant rest, so like sleep. Constitution is your spellcasting ability for Call to the Wave.
Okay.
Then go ahead and scroll up to the top and click Class. And these are the different job options you can take. These are the character classes, just like in the last 5th edition campaign I tried to run, just like in the 3.5. They're the different options, and since we're starting at level 1, you will not be able to pick your subclass. That one will happen at level 3. Blood Hunter is Critical Role content, and it's the emo one. Artificer is relatively new. It is your entire thing is infusing magic into objects. So
okay. Hold on. So you said Artificer. Where's that at?
Artificer would be at the top of the class list. If you're wanting to infuse magic into items, that's the one you would want to go with for the easiest way of doing it.
You may not have Artificer.
No, it's programmed into his. Since you joined, you get those.
Right.
I don't see Artificer.
You don't see Artificer.
No, it starts with Barbarian, then goes Bard, Blood Hunters, Cleric, Druid, Fighter.
Okay, interesting.
Monk, Paladin.
Okay, are you wanting to go Artificer? Because if you are, I can go ahead and just finish this character sheet. Go ahead and send me the name in chat, because I am building a character over on this end, and I can just go ahead and change that real quick back in the home. Is it Rava with a last name, or is it just Rava?
It's just Rava.
Just Rava? Okay. Then I'll go ahead and
plan
do
on
that.
having that play on a backstory later.
Got it. Okay, I see it. It's already corrected on mine. There we go. Artificer, your hit die is 1d8 per level, so you have 8 hit points plus whatever your Constitution modifier is.
Is she gonna have to roll in?
She will have to. Okay, for the first level, you're gonna automatically get the max or rolled. But
Not that, not the hit points. The stat.
Oh, for the stat, she will have to roll for that. But you get at first level, you learn how to invest a spark of magic into mundane objects. You must To use this ability, you must have your tools or artisan's tools in hand. You can then touch a tiny non-magical object as an action and give it one of the following properties of your choice. The object sheds bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet. Whenever tapped by a creature, the object emits a recorded message that can be heard up to 10 feet away. You utter the message when you bestow the property on the object. The recording can be no more than 6 seconds long. The object continuously emits your choice of an odor or a nonverbal sound, wind, waves, chirping, or the like. So basically, you can create a wave meditation YouTube track on an object.
Nice.
Or a static visual effect that appears on one of the object's surfaces. The effect can be a picture, up to 25 words of text, lines and shapes, or a mixture of these elements as you would like. The chosen properties last indefinitely. You can bestow magic on multiple objects, touching one object each time you use this feature, though a single object can only bear one property at a time. The maximum number of objects you can affect with this feature at one time is equal to your intelligence modifier, minimum of 1. If you try to exceed your maximum, the oldest property immediately ends, and then the new property applies. So basically, you infuse too many things with magic, whatever you infused first instantly becomes disenchanted.
Okay.
But that's the start of it. You will gain 3 skill proficiencies. Arcana, History, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Perception, or Sleight of Hand are your choices for that. Arcana is magic that is arcane. History is history of the world. Investigation is your ability to find things when you're actively looking around for them, or asking around about, say, a place you need to find. Medicine is exactly what it sounds like. If you wind up also getting a healer's kit at any point with a medicine skill proficiency, you can help stabilize dying individuals.
Okay.
Nature is you have knowledge of the natural world, like natural sciences and stuff. Perception, the ability to see things on a glance or notice things that people miss. And then sleight of hand, of course, is the pickpocket crap.
Get that
Nice.
key.
We've all played Skyrim. We know the pickpocket skill.
Oh God.
Okay. So go ahead and pick 3 out of that list. So
Well, perception and pickpocket ones are the ones, are 2 of the ones that I want. I didn't catch the first few.
okay. Okay.
Because my cat was being dumb.
It's
Anyway.
perfectly fine. Since you wound up picking those 2, it switched the third one to a set of tools. So
Okay.
So, how do you want to phrase your character? Are you an alchemist, a brewer, a calligrapher, a carpenter, a cartographer, so a map maker, a cobbler, shoemaker, basically, a cook, a glassblower, a jeweler, a leather worker, a mason, a painter, a potter, a smith, a weaver, or a wood carver? And yes, there is combat use for basket weaving. That's why that's in there.
Let's not do a Red Riding Hood. Please no.
Like I had to clarify.
It's a toss up between between the basket weaver, obviously, because that's just curious to me, and the jeweler.
The jeweler actually sounds like something it would fit better in the city we're starting in anyway, so thank you for having that as a consideration. In addition to the magical tinkering and those, you also gain proficiency in any simple weapon, thieves' tools, tinker's tools, and, of course, the jeweler's tools, which I just mentioned. So you also gain spellcasting. So
Okay, then jeweler it is.
Well, the jeweler doesn't have anything to do with the spellcasting, but you actually get a spellcasting list as being an artificer. So,
Well, yeah.
let me go ahead and then from there get into that. So, hang on, cancel that. Spells, there we go. Known spells, you can know 2 cantrips and 1 first level spell prior to us rolling your abilities. So, your cantrips are spells you can cast at no cost. You have an unlimited amount of ability to use them. Your options are Acid Splash, Create Bonfire, Dancing Lights, Firebolt, Frostbite, Guidance, Light, Mage Hand, Magic Stone, Mending, Message, Poison Spray, Prestidigitation, Ray of Frost, Resistance, Shocking Grasp, Spare the Dying, Thorn Whip, or Thunderclap. And go ahead and let me know which ones you want to hear more about before I click on them, because you do have
I
a...
want to hear more about
Dr.
Thorn Whip and Guidance.
Okay.
Diabetes Monday.
Guidance. You touch one willing creature. Once before this spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. It can roll the die before or after making the ability check, then the spell ends. And the duration of the spell is up to a minute, or however long it takes for you to maintain concentration on it. So 1 minute is the max, and if you maintain concentration for less than that, it's less than that.
It's at 10:30.
Alright, so do you want guidance?
Press the M button.
Yeah.
Okay. So one of your 2 cantrips is guidance. You said the other one you were interested in was Thorn Whip?
Mm-hmm.
You create a long, vine-like whip covered in thorns that lashes out at your command towards a creature in range. Make a melee spell attack against the target. If the attack hits the target takes 1d6 piercing damage. If the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you. Spell's damage increases by 1d6 when you reach 5th level, 11th level, and 17th level.
Okay.
So it's a combat option.
Okay, give it to me.
Alright. Alright, so cantrips are out of the way. First level spells. Alright, you can only pick one at this moment. If we
Okay.
wind up opening up more spell slots, then...
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. It says you know 17 first level spells,
What the fuck?
but you can only prepare one.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Oh, I was
So-
like, geez Louise, woman. You don't need that many spells.
Okay,
Sure I do. To deal with your dumb ass.
Excuse me, woman.
so I'm guessing Detect Magic and Cure Wounds are 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so... Oof, never mind. So basically, all these spells are in your known spell list already. It's just a matter of whether or not you pick one that is... Which one do you want to have prepared on you for the day? Absorb Elements, Alarm, Catapult, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat. It's not what it sounds like. Fairy Fire, False Life, Featherfall, Grease, Identify, Jump, Longstrider, Purify Food and Drink, Sanctuary, or Snare. Which one do you want to have prepared?
Tell me a little bit about the food and drink one, and I done forgot what the other one I was thinking of.
Was it
False Life.
False
False
Life?
life is temporary hit point.
Yep. You bolster yourself with a fastest meal of life. You gain 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points for 1 hour.
Okay.
So it's a temporary heal.
hmm
Purify food and drink.
All right.
All non-magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius, centered on a point of view, is purified and rendered free from poison and disease.
All right, I want that one.
You want purify food and drink. Got it.
Purify food and drink.
That will be the one out of the 17 first level spells you know that you have access to automatically. Okay. So now for your ability scores. Do you have dice on you?
No, not currently.
Okay.
I have dice. They're just in the house. I'm outside. I can't go back to my house and get them.
Got it.
I
So
got a dice map rolling, so I can do that for her.
Okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Got it. Go ahead and do the... For strength, I need to go... I actually am going to need to have the numbers so I can move them around as needed. Let's go ahead and do best 3 of 4d6.
You got it.
And I'm going to need 6 of the best 3 out of 4d6. Anything that winds up being less than a 10, I need rerolled. Trying to
First
go
one is a 15.
15? Okay.
Second one, 17.
17. Next.
Third one, 16.
16. Okay.
13 for the next.
13.
13 for the next one.
13 for the next.
13 again.
13 again.
Girl,
I can
you want to have
13s.
plenty of chains.
All right. So, go ahead and re-roll that last 13. I'm going to see if it winds up being higher.
And if it does not, 12.
Okay. Thought I'd check. All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the 17 into your intelligence, since that's your spellcasting modifier. I'm going to go ahead and put the 16 in your constitution, since that is your other modifier. Where do you want the 15 is the question. Do you want it in your strength, your dexterity, your wisdom, or your charisma? Ask me which one does what if you want.
Charisma.
You want your 15 in charisma. Got it?
Yes.
Alright. So, here's where I get to go back into your spell list. See if you can prepare any more spells. You can prepare 2 more spells as a result of that. So, do you want to go ahead and prepare Cure Wounds, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, because I've got a feeling I'm going to die a lot.
And then for your other option, you have Absorb Elements, Alarm, Catapult, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, again, not how it sounds, Fairy Fire, False Life, Featherfall, Grease, Identify, Jump, Long Strider, Sanctuary, or Snare.
I'd go for Detect Magic, but that's just me.
Yeah, let's go for Detect Magic then.
Right. So we've got that part taken care of. Now, we determine your background. Da da da!
Oh no.
Dear God.
So, I'm going to go ahead and ask you this, since Dustin and Isaac already chose their backgrounds ahead of time. It limited my options on what I could ask of them. What world do you want your character to be from? Do you want to originally be from the world of this game? or do you want to have fallen in from one of the other campaign settings?
Let's go with fallen in from another campaign setting.
Got it.
Yeah, the artificers are basically from Eberron, so that would make more sense.
Right. But artificers are also from Ravnica. That's the other reason I was asking.
Ah,
You've played Magic the Gathering, right, Shauna?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
so you know the basic idea behind the various guilds in Ravnica, then?
Not off the top of my head. No, it's been a while since I played.
Okay.
same here.
All right. So, if you've fallen in from one of the other worlds, there are a few options.
Mhm.
Now, from Eberron, there aren't really that much I can do, really, in the way of options additionally for you. But Ravnica, on the other hand, fitting Artificer, I've got the Izzet Engineer. So you were working for basically the hub of all magical invention in your home city.
Mhm.
And you were working there. Also, if instead you were... Hang on. If you fell in from the critical role setting, you could be a Volstrucker.
Okay.
Which one do you want to know about?
The first one.
The first one, the Izzet Engineer. Give me a sec. There it is. Armed with inventive intellect, a love of magical technology, and an unquenchable energy, you are an enthusiastic participant in the research of the League. Though you're likely to begin your career as a mere attendant, you can aspire to become a skilled mage, alchemist, laboratory supervisor, artificer, or a flamethrower-wielding Scorchbringer tasked with defending the lab.
Wow.
The first one, because it sounds more like her.
Yes.
The Izzet are obsessive, brilliant, inspired, and unpredictable forces of chaos. But
Yes!
also, you automatically gain proficiency in both investigation and arcana. So I would have to go back
Awesome.
and double check to see what you took proficiencies in to see if it didn't conflict. It does not. So you have 2 additional proficiencies. So that worked out. In addition, you get 1 additional set of tools that you are proficient in addition to the ones you are already proficient in as an artificer and your jeweler's kit. So,
Okay.
alchemist supplies, brewer supplies, calligrapher supplies, carpenter's tools, cartographer's tools, cobbler's tools, cook utensils, glassblower tools, leatherworkers. You're going to go with the basket weaver, aren't you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Riding Hood, here we come. Off to Granny's house we go.
All right. And for functionality's sake, I'm removing Vidalcan from the list because at this point in time, Vidalcan didn't start falling into the Forgotten Realms until about 2 years later. So I'm going to go ahead and say your extra language options are Draconic or Goblin.
Give me a goblin.
You want to speak
Yeah.
Goblin. Okay.
What a goblin.
You also gain the Urban Infrastructure feat.
Then I'll be able to talk to Dustin.
No, you won't.
Right. This might be... It's kind of like the feats I gave Dustin or Isaac in its utility. It will only really be useful for the first half or so of levels 1 through 5. But the popular conception of the League is based in mad inventions. Most of the perception is accurate, but the League is also involved with the mundane task of construction and architecture, primarily in crafting the infrastructure that allows the city's residents to enjoy running water, levitating platforms, and other magical and technological wonders. You are gifted with a basic knowledge of the structure of buildings, including the stuff behind the walls. You can find blueprints on a specific building in order to learn the details of its construction. Such blueprints might provide knowledge of entry points, structural weaknesses, or secret spaces. Your access to such information isn't unlimited, however. If obtaining or using the information gets you in trouble with the law, no one can shield you from the repercussions.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you want random personality traits, or do you want to select them from a list?
Let me select them from a list.
Got it. So, the first set are the main personality traits. You can choose 2. I have a hard time staying focused on, and my brain tends to jump from, did I mention focus? I have trouble with that.
Yep, that's her.
What?
Are you picking that one?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Told you!
Joking my ADHD here.
Okay. So, I get really excited about my ideas. I can't wait to talk about them and start putting them into practice and tinkering with them. And I want to tell you how exciting it all is. The next option
Yep,
is,
that's awesome.
it's not magic or anything really if you only do it halfway. Whatever I do, I give it all I've got.
Well, both of them do. So,
I do what my gut tells me. Life is a chemistry experiment, and I can't wait to see what happens.
no.
I-
No.
Give me that one.
Okay.
I hate you so much, Shauna.
Okay. So you can choose 2 ideals. And these ideals may or may not affect your alignment. Someday I will find or create the magic that will make me the most powerful being in the world.
Mm.
No.
I love my job. Despite the dangerous working conditions, there's nothing I'd rather do.
No.
No.
Okay? A rigorous application of logical principles and protocols will lead us toward progress more than any belief system.
Somewhat. With her.
Somewhat. Let's keep going and see.
Every experiment has the potential to reveal more secrets of the multiverse.
I'm not being experimented on. Flat out, no way, Jose.
Next.
Half the world's troubles come from stodgy thinking, stuck in the past. We need innovative solutions.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And of that list, you can choose any one of the others. So the experiment has a potential to reveal more secrets of the multiverse. A rigorous application of logical principles and protocols will lead us towards progress more than any belief system. I love my job. Or I will...
Experiments.
Experiments. Got it.
Ah!
Got
Why
it.
do I have to be the experiment?
All right.
You already are an experiment. What are you talking about?
I experiment on things. I don't be experimented on.
Do 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 do.
Really, Shauna?
Okay, sorry. What?
Exactly.
All right. So, you have bonds. So things that your character will almost always do. You can pick 2 from the list. 1. I have dedicated my life to finding a solution to a very specific scientific problem. 2. I'll never forget the laboratory where I learned my skills, or the other attendants who learned alongside me. I'm convinced it was sabotage that destroyed my first laboratory and killed many of my friends, and I seek revenge against whoever did it. That last one might not be able to come into play for this, but it might. Hell is weird. So that one's still on the table.
Hold on.
I have the schematics for an invention that I hope to build one day, once I have the necessary resources. A fellow student and I are racing to solve the same scientific puzzle. I would do anything the Guildmaster told me to. That last one, strike. Just strike. That last one is not available. You are cut off from the guild. So, you've got your fellow student and you are racing to solve the same scientific problem. You were convinced it was sabotage that destroyed your first laboratory and killed many of your friends. You seek revenge. You have the schematics for an invention you hope to build one day, once you have the necessary resources. You'll never forget the laboratory where you learned your skills, or the attendants who learned alongside you, or you've dedicated your life to a solution to a scientific problem. You can pick 1 or 2 from the list.
1 and 3.
You were convinced it was sabotage, so I'll have to write an NPC that you might encounter at some point randomly. And you have dedicated your life to finding a solution to a scientific problem. Click.
Mm-hmm.
Character flaws. You can
She's
pick
full of them.
you can pick 1 or 2 from the following list.
Okay.
If there's a plan, I'll probably forget it, and if I don't forget it, I'll probably just ignore it.
Yes.
I get bored easily. If nothing is happening, I'll make something happen.
Definitely her.
Yeah.
Nothing is ever simple. If it seems simple, I'll find a way to make it complicated.
Yes.
I tend to ignore sleep for days when I'm conducting my research, often at the expense of my health, sanity, and safety.
Yep.
I am convinced there is not a soul in any world, except for maybe the great Niv-Mizzet the dragon, long may he reign, who can match my boundless intellect.
Somewhat. With her.
I am incapable of admitting flaws in my logic.
Yes.
You can
At
pick
times.
1 or 2 from the list.
I like the first one for sure.
Okay.
So I'll go with that. And mhm.
Are you gonna follow along with your character reveal flaws and stuff?
What was the third one down?
The third one was, nothing is ever simple. If it seems simple, I'll find a way to make it complicated.
Yes.
You do
Put
have a
that one
tendency
in.
to do that.
Yep.
Okay, so given your choices, you are on the chaotic alignment spectrum. Are you chaotic good, chaotic neutral, or chaotic evil?
Chaotic good. Everything that I do is going to be for.
Faith
Yeah.
not applicable
Could be.
because they are atheists. Lifestyle, or
Mm-hmm.
then
No.
your hair color being a water genasi will be blue. Is that all right?
Hello.
That's fine.
Skin, do you want it also to be blue or do you want it to be tan?
What's that?
You want the skin to also be blue or do you want your skin to be tan?
Blue.
Blue. Eyes. Any color will do.
Mm.
Go hazel. Because it is a mixture of blue and green.
Or aqua.
Like literally
Yellow.
yellow? It'll stand
Yellow.
out on the blue.
Yeah.
Height?
Excuse me?
Your height?
5'3".
5'3". 5'3".
Damn, you're short. Oh, I mean, you're my best friend in the whole wide world, Shauna.
I know it is impolite to ask a lady
Just
her
remember.
I know it
Go
is
ahead.
impolite to ask a lady her weight and age. But your weight, please.
110.
110 for the character. And her age in years. Average adventuring age of a genasi, anywhere from 20 to 300.
150.
25.
25.
Damn.
Gender female?
Yep.
Okay. Give me a moment to modify the traits to match slightly. Yep, there it is. A chemistry experiment. Okay, so I finished typing in the last little bit of that. Your backstory leading into this, your personal backstory, we can work out on a later date, but the group
Okay.
backstory we will go into as soon as we finish building the character. Now, for
Okay.
equipment, your starting equipment is either you start out just with money and nothing on you, or you start out pre-equipped. You want to start out pre-equipped.
Yes.
You may choose any 2 simple weapons from the following list. Yikva, boomerang, sling, shortbow, dart set, crossbow light, spear, sickle, quarterstaff, mace, light hammer, javelin, hand axe, great club, club, or dagger.
Give me short bow and sickle.
Short bow and sickle it is. You are also given a light crossbow with 20 crossbow bolts. Do you want scale mail armor or studded leather armor?
Give me scale mail.
She wants to go heavy.
You are also given a set of tinker's tools, your Izzet engineer insignia and license, thieves' tools, and a dungeoneer's pack. The charred, twisted remains of the failed experiment from the Bonds and Flaws, a hammer, a block and tackle, a set of common clothes, and a belt containing 5 gold pieces. But you're going to have some issues with it because, surprise, your gold pieces look nothing like the gold pieces that you're used to. They're exactly the same weight as ordinary gold pieces, mind you, but they look nothing like the gold pieces around here, so that's going to be fun to roleplay. Click.
Now, quick question. If we do the spell, do we have to have the component in order for us to cast it? Or are we going willy-nilly?
We will have to, if it lists a component, you will have to pay for that component.
Okay.
But if it doesn't list a component, you can say it's a flat fee to replenish it, and you'll just have to let me know how many spells that don't have a listed specific component that you are replenishing for the calculation for that.
Alrighty.
Okay, so I'm
Sure.
going to go ahead and view character sheet to make sure everything is up to sniff. Okay. So, go ahead and back out of the character creator, and since you were already in it, I'll go ahead and get this character back into the campaign now that it's built. So I need to my characters. I'm going to go ahead and have Rava join the campaign. Alright, I need to start with the campaign. Shite. Okay. My collections, my campaigns. It's campaign number 2. New campaign. I'll go ahead and remove this one that you started building. That way you can have it to fiddle around with. Copying the link, pasting. Then I'm going to go ahead and have the Genasi Artificer join with this character. Now I need to scroll down and unassign. Go ahead and click the join link again in about 20 seconds, and Rava should be available for you to click and access.
Okay.
Let me know if she isn't, because if so, that's a bug that I need to report.
At least she's got stats towards the words who can actually multi-class in multiple ones.
That, and don't forget to go back into your equipment and equip like your armor and your weapons.
I'm actually going to go ahead and equip her stuff for her, because as DM, I've got the ability to go in and do that. So, hang on. Inventory, active items, crossbow bolts are equipped, and the crossbow light is equipped. Then your scale mail, so your, there we go. Go ahead and back out, reload. Yep, okay. And click. Okay, so you should be able to go ahead and claim Rava, and her armor class has been updated, and you're currently equipped with the crossbow and the bolts.
$5 says her armor class is 17. 69.
All right, have you been able to claim her?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hang on. There we go. All right, with that, end session 0. Session 1 starts right now, if you would like.
Sure.
We got the time to kill.
All right,
Do you guys have time to kill?
I do. Do you,
Good
Shauna?
until I should be good until about 8. So
Okay,
All
so
right.
we have about an hour and 15 minutes. So that'll be enough to get the ball rolling. I will go ahead and get the campaign module pulled up on my side. Source materials. Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. Alright, here we are. Welcome to Baldur's Gate, a veritable nest of rats and vipers, clinging to the rocky slopes overlooking the Chianthar River. From their high perches in the upper city, the local nobles, known as patriarchs, gaze down with veiled contempt upon the common rabble in the grimy lower city, which hugs the foggy harbor. The whole of Baldur's Gate reeks of blood, crime, and opportunity. One can easily fathom why both pirates and traders are drawn to this place like flies to a carcass. Following the river farther east would eventually lead you to Elturel, or it would, capital of the Holy Land of Elturgard. It was the case that you could do that until a few days ago. The city has completely disappeared. The flood of refugees from Elturel has gotten worse since news first arrived that the city had fallen. And everyone is saying that Baldur's Gate is going to be next, but no one truly knows who or what has claimed Elturel. The leader of the Flaming Fist promised you riches or something else of value if you helped remove Duke Dillard de Poitiers from power, creating a vacancy on the Council of Four. You all did it for the prestige as much as the money. It took months to plan and even longer to get everyone in place. The High Hall is locked down tight every evening. Its crypts, less so. So while gathering blackmail material on the Duke, you found a priceless treasure. Now a priceless treasure of the city, the spyglass of Balderon himself, is yours. But the spyglass wasn't what you thought. You want to get rid of it, but it's become a problem, especially since it started talking. Your plot to blackmail the Duke into retirement backfired when a rival of the treacherous patriarch, Utava's father, learned of the plot. Rather than turn you over to the guards, he told the Duke. As a result, your efforts were rebuked handily. You didn't realize that your opponent had such a scepter at their disposal, but now they're using it to hunt you down, and most of its spells are divination. Patriarchs pay a mercenary army called the Flaming Fist to protect their interest in Baldur's Gate, and by extension the city itself. The Flaming Fist has gained even more power since their leader, Ulder Ravengard, claimed the title of Grand Duke a few years ago. But apparently, Ravengard is missing. In his absence, the Flaming Fist has sealed the city's gates to staunch the flow of refugees. No one is allowed in or out. All of this was brought to your attention shortly after you were drafted by the Flaming Fist, specifically Ulder Ravengard, to commit this coup to help defend the city. However, given that the coup had failed, your follow-up orders, should Ulder Ravengard not be around, were to speak to Captain Zodge at the Basilisk Gate, which pierces the city's eastern walls, and takes its name from the various statues that rest in its niches and perch atop its battlements. Unseen beyond the sealed Basilisk Gate, a dirt road stretches through the outer city, slums to the bridge, what is known as Worm's Crossing, then to distant realms beyond. Where we will pick up will be upon that bridge. However, before that, I'm going to go ahead and need Dustin to get that D6 out.
Alrighty.
For Shauna's role in this coup and theft, go ahead and roll the D6 twice. And give me both results.
I have a 2.
Okay. 2. And then the other one?
Oh, you want me to roll twice? Okay.
Yes.
A 1.
2 and a 1. Okay. So, for the failed coup, you wouldn't have benefited directly from the new power structure, Shauna,
Huh?
but you would have benefited enough as someone new to the city. So, you are a facilitator to the coup, and then to the theft in particular, your role, you were the burglar.
So I was the one that got it for us.
Dustin was both the lockpick and the only patsy in the entire scheme. And Isaac was the breaker and the opportunist. Seriously, he didn't really have to, but he felt he could benefit from it, so he took the opportunity and busted some things down on the way in. So, with that, and also your newfound you need to find a way to get out of this, you find yourself standing upon Worms Crossing Bridge, looking out upon the distant lands outside the city. Dozens of Flaming Fist soldiers are trying to control an angry mob of commoners, eager to leave the city, and an angry mob of commoners eager to enter the city. Armed with only a vague description of Captain Zodge, a tall man with long black hair and leather eye patch. It says in parentheses here, it looks like Solid Snake when younger, with an eye patch.
Yikes.
It takes you a while to find him. How you find him, however, you see commoners literally flying into the sky and falling. A fight has broken out between the soldiers and the commoners, and he's the one throwing the most punches in the fray. As you spot the one-eyed captain, you begin to wade into the fray yourself. Just another day here in the City of Blood. So, you're standing on the bridge, watching the captain of the Flaming Fist literally beating commoners to a bloody pulp. He's your superior for this mission that you failed, and also for the next mission to be given to you. So you may want to, well, you're not going to be in any danger. He's literally solid snaking his way through all of them. So, let's go ahead here and get to Basilisk Gate. There we go. So what are you going to do?
So it's me and Isaac, correct?
It's the three of you, all standing on the bridge.
We're gonna have to find a way to get past them, guys.
Okay,
It's either lower underneath the bridge or sneak right past his butt.
no, you've got to talk to him. Like, your orders are to go talk to him, and he's... Like, you're in no danger from the peasants. The peasants are all getting thrown into the sky with every punch and falling back down, unconscious. He's not trying to kill them, he's just trying to brutalize them.
I'll approach him.
Alright.
Go.
Alright. So. There you are. I've been waiting for hours. What happened?
So, you know that job you sent us to do? We kind of botched it.
How bad?
Highly bad.
Okay. Well, something easier then. Sorry. It's just this refugee crisis. It stoked fears that Baldur's Gate might suffer the same fate, and then, to top it all off, refugees are still flooding in from Elturel. Apparently nothing remains other than a bloody hole in the ground.
Would you
Okay.
like us to
Well,
sneak around and look through it? See
No,
what we're gonna do?
no. If you failed to pull off that simple of a coup, I'm sorry, I can't have you going to Elturel under these circumstances. On another note, Older Ravengard, the only other person other than me on the Force who knew of what you were doing, was in Elturel on a diplomatic mission when it disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. So, yeah, that happened. Your response?
Don't
So,
seem like a coincidence either, but still. We're gonna have to think of something, guys.
Alright. Well, I mean, I have thought of something. The Knights of Elturgard have started calling themselves the Hellriders after the ancient Elturgardian knighthood. A few of them escaped the destruction, and I think they're to blame for Elturel's downfall. I've told people to arrest them on sight. They're a bunch of self-righteous rabble-rousers, but it's left us short-handed to deal with another problem. For that, I need your help.
All right.
On that,
so what's that?
first, stand up straight, soldiers! Raise your right hands! And you watch as he throws into your right hands, each of you, a badge. Alright, sorry. Formalities. We were supposed to deputize you before you did any of all of that, and we just forgot. So, Baldur's Gate has long been plagued by the followers of the Dead Three. Do any of you want to make a religion check to know who the Dead Three are?
We can all try it.
Okay.
Religion, correct?
Religion, yeah.
Nope. 6.
Okay.
21. Where are you?
Right. I thought we'd wipe them out, but apparently not. These purveyors of fear and death are taking advantage of the current crisis to commit murder sprees throughout the city. As appointed deputies in this matter, you have license to kill the wretches on sight. Find their lair, wipe it out, eliminate anyone, regardless of social class, who gets in your way, and don't worry about any collateral damage. As long as you stick to those two restrictions, eliminate anyone who gets in your way, find their lair, wipe it out, etc., and kill the cultists on sight, I'll see that you each receive 200 gold pieces, in addition to the gratitude of the Flaming Fist, which is worth considerably more than 200 gold pieces. A few blocks from here is the Elfsong Tavern. A spy named Tarina hangs out there, gathering rumors for the guild. She owes me a favor, so... And you watch as he then takes his left hand and... You know when someone pulls off that... Someone walks up behind you, then tries to make, like, the showing off their guns motion to hit someone behind them and they fall over, like in the cartoons?
Yep.
Yeah, he does that to a commoner. Ask her what she knows about the Dead Three. Tell her you work for me, and for the love of Balderon, be nice. She has dangerous friends. Alright.
Let's get going, guys.
Alright.
Alright, move out. With that, you watch as he turns and starts punching commoners into the sky again.
Great.
Alright, so... The Elfsong Tavern isn't far away, so you find it easily. See, I'm gonna go ahead and get you... I already sent the map of the region. Let me go ahead and get you the map of the city real quick into the chat. Save image. Alright. Then I need to click on the chat. Click on the chat. Just let me click on the stupid chat. There we go. Clicking on the stupid chat. Okay, so I've uploaded the map of the city to the chat. And I'm going to also give you the layout of the tavern. Back. Okay. Save image. And there is the layout of the bar. Should be popping up any second.
Okay.
All right. With that, you have arrived in the bar. Let's see if I can find the next prompt here. All right. All right. When you arrive, the tavern is filled with the ghostly lamentation of the elf spirit known to help haunt this place. You hear beautiful elvish singing. How many of you speak elvish other than Isaac?
Let's see. Nope.
Nope.
Okay, well, Isaac's elvish, so he gets that automatically. So, the myth is that this spirit sings a song of a long-lost lover. However, Isaac, what you notice is the spirit is not singing of a long-lost lover at all right now, but of Elturel. Most of the patrons aren't paying it any mind, but the bartender looks pale as a sheet, like scared shitless. The words you hear are, Isaac, in Elvish, "Oh, sing a song of Elturel, of water, woods, and hill. The sun dawns on her ruddy cliffs, and fields green and still. The land of this long-abiding joy, home of the strong and the brave, renowned by all across the realms, and never once a slave. Oh, sing a song of Elturel, when foes are at her door, her fields torn by cloven feet, sent to infernal shore. Arise, O mighty hell riders, take up your swift keen swords, then charge into the hellish fray and scatter the devil's hordes. Oh, sing a song of Elturel, and when the night does fall, sleep safe beneath Champion's light, until the dawn does call. We're bound by mortal covenant that only ends in death, and so we'll sing of Elturel until our final breath." Do you relay this to the party?
Yeah.
Okay. I need everyone to make a history check. Since you're not able to roll right now, Shauna, I'm going to go ahead and have Dustin roll for you, and then you're going to have to add your intelligence modifier.
Okay.
I got a 7 from me. And you said 12 on the die, honey.
12 on the die, and your intelligence modifier, Shauna, is?
Give me one moment. I'll open it up now.
Okay.
Intelligence modifier.
It's on your character sheet. It's the plus above
Oh, plus
intelligence.
3.
You would get it, weirdly enough, in the week you've been here. You have learned a lot about the region. The companion referred to in the song is the name given to the artificial holy sun that burned over Elturel, protecting the city and its surrounding lands and against undead. So, what do you do? Most of the patrons aren't paying any notice to the song being different, and the bartender looks pale.
I'm gonna go up and speak to the bartender.
You see he has a little name badge on that says Alan.
Hi, Alan.
Do I know you?
Probably not.
Okay.
Are you okay?
No. The
All right.
you notice his ears are slightly pointed. He's half elf, so he obviously understood what the song was saying.
So, what's got you so scared?
Well, something my grandfather used to say. There was an army of humans and elves that rode out from Elturel in centuries past that rode down into hell to fight the devils. Most of them never returned. And
Hmm.
I've never heard her sing this song before. It literally just started as you and those two walked in.
Wow.
Yeah. She was singing her normal song until then, and then just all of a sudden, wham! Out of nowhere.
Do you
Uh,
know why?
other than the rumors, Elturel has disappeared. It's gone. But just the idea, hell, people going while alive, it's terrifying.
Hmm.
All right, so what do you do after you finished talking to the barkeep?
I'm gonna go back and relay what I found out to the other two.
Your reaction, Dustin, Isaac?
Mhm.
Neither of you have a reaction to that?
Puzzled look. Like, this can't be really big coincidence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the general point of that prompt, I think. Like, the point was, it's literally you guys walking in, suddenly the song changes.
Hmm.
Um, moving on. Do you want to go ahead and try to look for your quarry, or do you want to spend some more time in the bar first?
Look for the quarry.
Alright. It takes you a moment, and you move up to the second floor. You see a human dressed in very, very thiefy robes up in the. Hang on. I'm trying to find which room this is because I know where it is on the map, but I'm trying to find where it is. Okay. Nope, that's Alan's bedroom. Up in the upstairs dining hall. And it looks like she's playing a game of Baldur's Bones. So basically, a game where everyone bets money. Each player rolls 3 dice. Play then proceeds clockwise around the table with the host of the game going last. On their turn, the player chooses to stand or roll. It's basically dice blackjack,
Okay.
for lack of a better way to put it.
I'll head over to the table and ask if I could join.
Okay. All right. So, care to play? All right.
I'm playing.
Let's give it a shot. I'm actually going to need you to roll a performance check. And there's a reason I'm doing this instead of you having you actually play the game.
That's fine.
And your performance?
6. I did poorly.
You actually wanted to fail at this one. You rolled so badly that the person you're sitting next to, Squalder Fane, looks like a sailor with no eyebrows, pretty drunk. You knock him so hard that more dice fall out of his sleeve.
Looks like we have a cheater in this table.
Sorry. You watch as he gets all red and runs out. Well, that's more for me. You see the human take a sip out of her mug, and well, we need to probably figure out which one of these are the loaded ones. Could take a while. Um, I'm sorry. I get this distinct impression that you're here to see me, aren't you?
I am.
Oh, great. Well, perfect timing, because I think someone might be trying to kill me.
How so?
Are the Isaac, Shauna, are the two of you still downstairs?
No, I
Yes.
would have went up with Dustin.
Okay. Shauna, as you're mingling with the individuals downstairs, you see 8 sailors saunter into the tavern. The leader is a brawny man with a cloudy right eye and a cruel sneer. A pirate's swagger. The others are an unsavory, rowdy bunch, who act as though they own the place. The dead-eyed man says, "We're looking for a friend of ours." He sniffs the air. Goes by the name of Tareen, or so I'm told. Loves to cheat at Balder's Bones. So, with that, Shauna, what do you do?
I look over at Alan. Have you seen these guys before?
They've come in a couple times looking for her. Just don't tell them that she's upstairs, and it'll take them a bit to remember that's where they are. They're probably already a little drunk. You might want to get up there and help her. You look armed, so please keep it away from the rest of my patrons.
I walk up to the cloudy-eyed man
Uh-huh.
and I look him in the eyes and I say, "Are you sure that she's here?"
We've already been to all the other taverns. She's already swindled her way through half of everything that everyone put on the table. This is the last stop. Ick. He's obviously drunk.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you can find her on this lower level, then I'll let you walk away.
Make it an intimidate check, so I'm going to need Dustin to roll a d20, and you're going to need to add your intimidate bonus from your character sheet. It should be under skills section, Shauna.
10 on the die.
10 on the die.
Yep.
And what is
Give me a
your
moment.
charisma modifier again?
Charisma?
Yeah, I don't know if you took proficiency in... No, you didn't take proficiency in intimidation, you took it in... Oof. So, you'd go into your character sheets. Hang on. It would be...
My charisma modifier is 2.
Your charisma modifier is a 2.
So a total of 12.
Yeah, and you don't have proficiency in intimidation, so yeah, it's a total of 12. You watch as the 7 bandits behind him all run scared. He hasn't moved. You're gonna wager money, then.
Sure.
How much?
One moment.
You only have 5 gold pieces on you.
Excuse me?
You only have 5 gold pieces on you. So,
All right. I'll wager the lot of what I have.
fine. But if we circle the block afterwards and sober up a bit and realize you swindled us, coming to get you. And he searches the first floor. Nothing. Leaves. Tosses over a pouch of 32 gold pieces and 15 silver pieces. I mean, you never said how much you had. You just said the lot of what you had. So he was assuming all your equipment. So he tossed you his money, which is what he was going to wager. And that's what he thinks your equipment is worth. And then walks out. You give it maybe 20 or so minutes before they sober up enough to realize that it was a trick. And remember that she's actually upstairs, so you might want to hurry. Meanwhile, back upstairs.
Sounds like there was a rush upstairs, honey. Was
Huh.
those people waiting for you?
Yeah, it seems someone might have dealt with it. Yeah, right. So, alright,
You know a secret latch around? Anything?
I run upstairs.
I can... Oh, right. So which one of you is the one, because there's probably going to be someone in the party who's just wearing the badge openly. Which one of the 3 of you is it going to be?
Not it.
Me.
Got it.
Yes.
Well, if Ravengard sent you, what did you need to talk about?
The 3 deaths. The 3 dead bodies.
Not 3
Oh,
dead
yeah.
bodies, the dead 3. Okay.
Yeah, the dead 3.
Oh. Where to start? They were gods. Before they were gods, they were humans. They successfully killed gods. Took their place. The gods in particular they killed: death, murder, and death by murder. So treachery.
Hmm.
Yeah. Very specific. That's why they're called the Dead 3.
Escaping. How's that for sounding?
Beg
We ain't
pardon?
got much time before they end up coming up back over here.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to completely get rid of them. They always crop back up whenever anything goes wrong around here. They're more of a public nuisance with a body count. Not unlike the Flaming Fist in that regard, to be quite honest. But several blocks north of here is a public bathhouse with a walled garden, and frolicking nymphs carved into its front gates. Followers of the Dead 3, and weirdly enough, also Tiamat, have been seen coming and going from the bathhouse, and I'm told there's a secret door that leads inside to a dungeon somewhere. I think that's where they're hiding, but I'm not absolutely positive of that.
Okay, we'll check over there and you make your escape.
Right. Knowing them, they'll probably be right outside. So it would probably be a good idea if you just left, and I'll see if Alan might let me stay over another night.
That's fine as long as we can get rid of him.
Right. Well, be safe, and if they see where you're going, and if one of you happened to have had anything to do with it, and why they aren't going to be able to find me otherwise, they're probably going to follow you and try to kill you, so just be on your guard.
Will do.
Alright? So with that, will you leave the bar, or will you do your best to hide on your way out of the bar.
Think fast, guys.
Just leave.
If we do that, we'll get chased. That's one.
I'm gonna try to hide because I am an idiot.
You basically postponed the encounter, the first one, the one that's supposed to bump you from level 1 automatically to level 2, until whenever it is they find you. So yeah, that's part of that. But go ahead and Dustin roll a d20, and I'll have Shauna add her stealth modifier, and I'm gonna need the same from you and Isaac, if you don't want to encounter them immediately.
All right, for her, it's a 9 on the die.
And your stealth is a +1, so you got a 10. You passed. They're still sort of drunk. Dustin,
24.
so you got a natural 20 or a 19.
No, 18 plus 6.
Oh, right. You're a dex build. Forgot. And then for Isaac.
12 plus 6.
Okay, so you all passed. So your first encounter has been suspended for a little bit. The bathhouse is literally just a couple blocks away, so it's a one-story stuccoed building with stained glass windows and clay roof tiles. 10-foot walls enclose a large courtyard outside the southeast corner of the building. The closed wooden doors to the courtyard are engraved with images of smiling nymphs dancing and frolicking in the water. There is absolutely nothing suspicious about this bathhouse. The only thing you notice is it has the most sophisticated plumbing in the city.
The most what in the city?
Sophisticated plumbing.
Okay.
That's literally the only thing weird. And it's painfully obvious. Like water fountains that flow right back into the building and then basically over the stones that heat it and into the building. It's a very suspicious, not suspicious bathhouse.
All right, mind if I do an investigation closer for it?
Well, just investigate away and see what happens.
12.
You see, courtesy of Duke Van Thamper. And it's on the fountain. But that's it. That's all you find.
He's not making any deals or anything?
Nope. You haven't found anything yet. You're still out in the courtyard.
All right.
Speaking of the courtyard, the L-shaped courtyard features the trimmed lawn, nicely manicured shrubbery. The yard is decorated with white marble beaches and stone fountains, each in the form of a smiling nymph, tipping a jug that spills water into a circular stone basin, which then promptly drains and runs over hot stones into the building.
I'm going to investigate the where the water lets in to the building.
You're the engineer. Go ahead, make an investigation check.
She got a 3.
On dice.
Yep.
And your investigation total, Shauna?
I'm looking. I'm not used to this format, so.
It's okay. Like, I'm probably going to transfer us over to something that I can use to do combat maps at some point, but
Until then, this is what we got, so.
Right.
We can live with it.
Alright.
So
So I'm looking for what am I looking for?
Investigation.
Yeah, passive investigation 15.
passive investigation. So no, that's your passive perception. So your investigation would be your investigation skill, which is in your skill set, right next to stealth and
Yeah, but there's also a passive in
That's
investigation and passive wisdom
right.
too.
That's passive
Okay.
perception. It's like what you see at a glance. This is
Oh.
something you'd actually have to search in order to find.
Okay.
Right. +5 is what it says.
So 8.
So
That plus your background is enough to beat this. So, you look. It looks like where the water is coming from is something that converts steam back into water. The bathhouse is recycling its water with very, very intricate plumbing. Like, very intricate Magitech plumbing. Yeah. So you're probably very, very...
That seems very off to me.
It should, but it's not unusual where you're from. Perfectly normal.
True.
But given the history, it'd be way off from the schematics.
Well,
Perfect.
also it was pre-designated just a little while ago that despite being here for a few weeks, I know a lot about the culture, right?
Yeah, you know that the only way this would have been possible is if a very accomplished arcane practitioner or a very wealthy person or someone who is a very accomplished arcane practitioner who is also a very wealthy person. And then you notice the plaque, courtesy of Duke Vanthamper.
Oh.
So someone hand-designed this. So you might want to consult with Duke Vanthamper for the schematics for this, because like if she designed it herself, it must have some unique function that you don't know of, because all individual artists have their own little tweaks they do to designs. And if she invented this, but that's for another day. So do you walk in? Or do you just admire the shrubbery and the plumbing?
Let's walk in.
Right. So, as you walk in, you notice, okay, so it isn't entirely recycled water. It looks like there is also an underground spring that feeds into it. So, whatever wastewater needs to be sent somewhere obviously goes down into the sewers, which then makes sense to you, Dustin, given that she's in charge of the sewers. Duke Vanthamper would obviously want to try to reduce the amount of sewage she had to deal with, or her workers had to deal with on a daily basis. So that actually makes sense. But each pool keeps its water from draining out by basically evaporating the water out and then filtering it right back in. Hello! You see a little blonde-haired girl in pigtails, or what you think is a blonde-haired girl in pigtails with red freckles. How may we help you today?
Is there any secret patches to this?
If you're wanting a shortcut to get here, you just have to cross... Oh, no. No secrets, no tricks, no gimmicks. You see as she grins a very wide smile. Would you like a massage?
No, thank you.
A bath, maybe? You look filthy.
I'll take one later.
Right. So, what business do you have here?
We heard that there's a cult around here.
I'm
That's
sorry.
similar-
I need you all to make a perception check immediately.
Fuck. Peek.
Sean is
21
past...
for me.
Okay. You hear the fluttering of bat wings outside. In the middle of the day.
That's unusual. 18 on Shauna's dice.
Like her passive perception, though, it was just perception. It was something going on like right out the door. So
Oh, passive perception. Okay.
yeah. Just the passive perception, and your roll was enough to offset the fact that your passive perception wasn't going to be enough. So you both hear it, at the very least. The fluttering of bat wings outside. I have no idea what you're talking about. And your perception was higher, so you see that she's reached her hand under the desk. And then brought her hand back up.
I whisper to Rava. We're gonna get the feds after our butts.
Huh.
Got any
I step
ideas?
closer to her to see what she does. Abruptly.
You watch as she just disappears. No spell casting. You get the impression that she was a programmed illusion.
Looks like we're gonna have to charge you into the bat cave.
Under the desk first.
And you watch as she's back. Hello, how may we help you today?
I look at Rava, very puzzled, like, what is going on here?
It's a programmed
I
illusion.
pull out my I pull out my crossbow and I shoot it at her.
Goes right through. And she disappears. And hello, how may we help you today?
Programmed illusion. Don't even worry about it. Let's go.
All right,
What are we doing?
you're lost already?
I couldn't hear Shauna.
She goes, let's go ahead and get going. That desk collects an illusion.
So we're leaving or are we looking?
Secretly looking?
Unfortunately, as you go, you see all of the doors into the rest of the bathhouse where you could actually like go in, take a bath, etc. are locked. So you assume this is indeed a programmed illusion, that for the safety of the massage therapists and the not so therapy-ish adjacent employees, for their protection, that the doors are locked except for when they have a customer.
Hmm.
I'm gonna look around the corner of the front.
How much does a bath cost? I say to the illusion.
1 gold piece.
Okay. I pay for baths for all of us.
Okay.
She points at a bowl at the edge of the desk. Please insert payment here. Thank you.
And drop in 3 coins.
And they just disappear. And you watch as the door to one of the big steam rooms opens.
Mm-mm.
And then a smaller door off to the side for a private chamber for the lady.
Well, the two ladies.
Right? So,
Hi, boy. Yeah, well.
you see about 6 humans in the big bathhouse. You see that they each seem to have no problems going in or out the door. It seems it's only a one-way lock. So, like when you work at McDonald's and you open the door from one side, you can't get back in, kind of thing. So it's you stay as long as you need to, and then you can leave.
Pretty much.
Right.
Okay.
So,
Come on, Rob. Let's go ahead and get a little cleaner.
well, she goes into the smaller private chamber.
I'm pretty sure there's room for two.
Oh, right. 2 ladies and 1 dude. So Isaac is going into the big bathroom, and the 2 of you. Oh gods.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Sorry, didn't think of that. I was just reading up. I was just reading off the prompt. Okay. So both of these chambers are 20-foot high. There are pillars, frescoes of bathing royalty, natural light streams through stained glass windows, creating colorful patterns on the tiles.
Hmm.
Each little bath, in addition to the steam, there's like a sunken pool containing perfume-scented hot water, has a pair of brass faucets. So if it winds up being too hot, you can add cold water to your taste.
Hmm.
So, do you want to go ahead and search the rooms?
Yes.
Okay. You got nothing. Doesn't matter what you roll, there's nothing suspicious about the baths.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
you all have an enjoyable bath, and nothing has gone wrong yet.
Rava, would you like some scented smell?
I'm not sure if we should be messing with stuff.
Well, there's lavender, lemongrass.
I'd like to investigate the perfumes.
Nothing suspicious about the perfumes. Perfectly normal. Like, they're just within the range of what the level of technology would enable to be produced here. And the only unusual thing for the level of technology that is supposed to be around here on average is that you can change what scent the water is you're in. That's it.
Let's
Little-
do
but that does-
lavender.
And the room just suddenly fills with the scent of lavender.
Besides,
Press the
Rava, you need to
lavender
turn your
button.
butt down.
I go back to the door. I step out of the bath and go back to the door where we heard the bat wings from.
Good call. You see taloned footprints. But they're humanoid-ish with talons. Like, very small talons, but they're talons.
Okay.
But that's... You don't even really have to look. Like, one of the, what appeared to be a gargoyle is missing from that spot.
Hmm.
Now, shoot.
The building
I step
detected
back
you... The building detected you were a potential threat and sent a warning to someone.
No thanks to my big fat mouth.
Mm-hmm. So, I think given that Shauna has to be done at 8, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and end it. Because right as she starts walking in, there she blows! And you see...
Oh, no.
The pirates are coming. And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
All right. Great.
Hey!
Back to the bathhouse. By pirates. This is the shit that I get myself into. And this time, I can't blame it on Dustin. All he's doing is taking a fucking bath. This was my dumb.
Well, I mean, you stole her money. You stole the money that you were going to be basically paying someone else, or someone was... you stole his money. You stole the pirate's money. And by extension, you stole the pirates' employers' money. So,
Boof.
Thanks, Rava.
Hey, we got a reprieve and a bath before they got us.
Yeah, but I have to hurry up and change for us to join the fight.
all right. We actually, given this, we wouldn't actually need to do the. We wouldn't need to do a combat map for this because you're going to be fighting them like right outside the bathhouse, and you're probably going to wind up getting in trouble because you're not. Well, technically, it's collateral damage in the line of duty. You wouldn't get in trouble so much as you might have to show your badges and explain to whomever shows up when you scare the citizens who are still in the bath.
No thanks to Rava.
I didn't say that. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know,
I didn't do nothing.
right.
And you guys say, watch my shenanigans.
Hey, your shenanigans were created as the DM, meaning you had control.
Hey, this, like, there was
What?
the option to try to trick the pirates out of hunting her down, and the specific way you chose led to there being an encounter prior to you finding your way to your quarry, because they are literally the people you need to kill in order to get to level 2.
So, in other words, it was inevitable.
Well, one way or another, this particular one was rigged. So, like, your shenanigans is what caused it to be specifically here instead of in the tavern, but that's about it.
Okay.
Like, you didn't really change much of anything in the way of the alignments of fate. It was gonna happen, it's just you changed the location. Fewer people who can help, by the way, because almost all of the people who could help in the area are naked.
I don't think a bunch of naked people would be beneficial to us.
It would not, no. Like, had you had that fight in the tavern, you would have had, as potential allies in the fight, the person who you're going to be defending, right? Then you also had, on top of that, you would have also had, like, the handful of other dice players, because they all appeared to be adventurers, minus the one you scared away for cheating. He didn't have...
Okay, so in other words, what I just did is put us in a majorly vulnerable situation.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
No thanks to you, Rava.
And I
Hey.
kept my tongue shut. I kept my mouth shut about that. Like, I'm doing better at not spoiling things. On the issue of the missing gargoyle, the feet are, like, for you, Shauna, the feet are smaller than the gargoyle was.
Uh-oh.
Much smaller. But they're where the gargoyle used to be, so it makes sense. Even though the
That's
feet
either
are...
Doppelganger or Kenku.
No, it's neither.
Oh,
Kenku
gee.
can't
Thanks,
fly.
Rava.
Kenku can't
We're
fly.
bringing the artificer today.
Kenku
We've
can't
all
fly,
been
and it. You're right. It isn't a gargoyle. It's something much worse.
Gee, thanks, Rava.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, hold up. No, I have something up my sleeve.
Okay.
I have something up my sleeve.
On that, Futaba, that's your fault. Had you not said the word cult and just spent this early morning excursion to the bathhouse to scope out the situation, maybe get a massage, get a manicure, or just simply to have a bath and look around, it would have been fine. No, you had to just say it.
Okay, so it's the rogue and the artificer's fault.
The pirates are the artificer's fault. The fact that they might be expecting you when you do finally find a way to get into whatever it is, from whatever room it is in, The fact they might actually be expecting you is your fault.
Nice.
So,
So I set up the first shenanigan. You set up the second one that we have no idea about yet.
and here's the thing. You don't know if you're going to be able to get in while there are people around. Because it looked like the individual massage and masseuse chambers were they were locked, so they obviously didn't have any customers for that. So you wouldn't have been able to get in anyway. It's literally, you had to try to scope the place out, and you wouldn't have been able to scope the entire place out unless you paid to get a massage. And then you would have to have said, you know what, I don't like this room, and then just gone to the next room. No, you didn't do that. No, you just...
No, instead we went for a bath, alerted the the security system, Dustin, and all my fault. We're going to be attacked by a bunch of fucking pirates on top of it.
Yes, exactly.
See, I'm not the only one that posts shenanigans half the time.
And what's
doing that campaign?
No, he's making everything.
I would say that we can effectively do that first fight, Theater of the Mind, and that would give me maybe another week to figure out how we're going to get maybe a campaign table going. That being said, I'm going to have to call it. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for letting me run the game. And with that, Internet, have a good night. And that's the end of me being, relatively speaking, polite.
Fuck you, Futaba.
You moron.
You idiot.
However, it works perfectly. The weird thing is, it works perfectly for this campaign module, though. Like, you are supposed to get in fights. Like, you're supposed to be as murder hobo-y as possible for the first so many levels.
And here's me. Hi, I'm gonna try to bribe, or I'm gonna try to fucking bribe and swindle my way out of these fights.
Yeah, and I did wind up having to...
I'm glad I didn't...
I did have to improv some of the bribe and swindle part, because there were only 2 options for tricking them, and the one you chose wasn't listed, but it fit. So it was like, okay. Yeah, bathhouse. She's going bathhouse route. No way around it. It's like, you two. This is why I like playing with you two. Like you take my expectations.
We always manage to fuck it up in a way that you have to improv something.
That's the DM's job.
It wasn't really even. It wasn't even really full improv, though. There was enough to imply that they would hunt you down. There was enough to say they would hunt you down if they failed in their mission to find or realize they got swindled, because they'd want to take care of you first before dealing with her, because they're still partially drunk even if they sober up. It's like, it's like, yeah.
I just love the way it played out, though. Let's be honest, this big scary eyes come in, and I'm just like, hey, bet you can't find her, and all the other ones just gone, and the leader's like, okay, I'll look for her. Here's your money. I didn't find her on the bottom floor. Bye. And then I'm like, yes, he's an honorable pirate.
Yeah.
That gave us enough time to get out of there. Not only that, but it also plays on the just the kind of behind the scenes thought of we went to the bathhouse, which led them away from the bar or the pub, and thus gave her the ability to leave if she wants.
Yeah, no, she's just so scared that she's gonna stay. So literally, if you don't kill them, they're gonna kill her.
Oh, I'm aware.
So,
But also, we took the fight away from her, so we didn't risk her dying either.
well, you took the fight away from her, so you wound up making it, instead of a challenge rating 1 encounter, it's a challenge rating 2. So for
Yep,
average
that's
party
perfect.
level of party level 1, it's now twice as difficult because you don't have NPCs helping you.
Let's make shit more difficult. Why not?
Of course, Shauna. You always do that.
And what's okay,
Uh-huh.
what I didn't mention is the reason why this 1 encounter is enough to bump you all the way up to level 2. It's 7
Okay.
pirates plus the big guy.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
7
versus
pirates.
3.
Yeah, 7 versus 3. We're not gonna have any naked people
It's
helping
8.
us.
It's 8, counting the big guy.
Is the big guy
Seven.
a
Yeah,
pirate?
it's 8. 7 versus 3. Yeah.
The big guy is apparently the first mate,
Plus the
for
big
lack
guy.
of a better way to put it.
Mm.
So there's
Oh.
there is a pirate captain you might have ticked off, and she might not be happy. She might think it's hilarious, but the thing is, one way or the other, you gotta kill these people.
Yeah.
And like forcing you into that situation, I don't like it. I tried to roleplay out of it, and then I was like, no, they're gonna follow. Because they're gonna realize, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So
This is gonna be a very interesting campaign already.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And
It sounds like a turd sandwich that everybody's got to take a bite out of.
here's the thing: you haven't even gotten to the part that's actually the fun part. Like the fun part
we just
isn't.
made our own fun.
No. The fun part is several levels down the road. Like you can let it rip with hell jokes.
Wow.
Like seriously, I'm
So
just.
this is what it feels like to be this hot.
Well,
Uh,
the thing
I mean, I
is,
knew I was talking about, but this is extra.
the thing is, I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. Best of luck, because you're gonna be going from an urban fantasy environment to Mad Max Fury Road in less than 5 levels. So, or actually maybe right at 5 levels. Depends on how you handle things.
I'm Shauna for this. Shauna, quit getting us into trouble.
I'm not. Excuse me, Mister. Set off the security alarms.
Okay. And this is
All I
why.
did was just-
And this is why the coup failed. And this is why the coup failed. The lockpicker tripped up. This is why the coup failed. Actually, the reason the coup failed is because Altus told Futaba's dad, who told the target. That's what really happened. But
Yeah.
ooh, oh, Shauna, I didn't tell you.
Hmm.
The person who betrayed you to Futaba's dad.
Yeah.
His name is
Mhm.
Altus. He is a cultist. I did not make that up.
God.
That is
Altus
forgot.
the cultist.
Yes,
What?
that is a Forgotten Realms name for you. Like a good chunk of the canon Forgotten Realms characters are named the same way Altus is.
Wow.
Yeah. Like the family that put all that Magitech into that particular bathhouse, that one of the big 4 richest families in the city, the one that's in charge of all the sewers, the gutters, the plumbing.
Uh-huh.
their last name is Van Thamper. Think about how hard it is to say Van Thamper 20 times fast. Van Thamper, Van Thamper. It's just...
Right.
Freaking say Thumper for Bambi.
Hey, at least you didn't have to start this adventure by rescuing some guy named Floon.
Oh no.
Spelled Floon. Had we done the Waterdeep Dragon Heist module, the first mission is to rescue a guy named Floon.
Oh god.
And what's worse, he's so infamous that some of the coinage in Waterdeep has his face on it, even though he isn't rich or a noble. He's just that infamously bad that he's on the penny.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
I'm just.
not infamously evil, just a terrible at everything.
Oh, okay. So he kind of fills the same shoes as the motorcycle guy from fucking Fallout 4.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about?
like terrible at everything that he tries to do.
But somehow it works out for him.
Yep.
Yeah,
He winds up alive in the end of it. Yeah.
yeah, that's Floon.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy. He's just an uncle.
Oh, God, no.
All right, well, it's almost 8. Good night, y'all.
Alright. I'll see you
Read
guys
the
next
thing
week, I guess.
before you go to bed, honey.
Beg pardon?
Huh?
The Google Drive.
Right. I'm gonna make sure that gets
Before you
sent
go
to
to
you
bed.
before I go to bed. It's gonna have Session 0 Part 1 from... Was it yesterday or the day before? Day before.
Before.
Then this. So I'm gonna make sure it gets uploaded first before I get you the link. That way you have both of them to put up at once.
Yep.
Oh, with that, I just realized we were still recording this entire time. You know what? Let's just say the entire...
Ouch!
And this is where I stop being relatively polite. Fuck you.
No.
Fuck you for talking. Just that little piece. Just that little piece right there. Right there. Should be like added as a blooper at the end of the video on somebody's channel.
Yeah, but it's disgusting.
This is
Otherwise I'll be
actually-
demonetized.
This is going up on Dustin's for the reason for reasons.
Oh,
Just-
yeah.
For reasons.
Uh-huh.
Well, D&D streams, sure, they may draw in more people, but it would be easier if he's on it. Like, he's the one who's
Mhm.
getting it. Oh, speaking of, since we're still recording,
Oh, God.
how can they find you, Dustin, on the internet, other than just looking up Gothic Indian? Are there any other social media profiles you want to plug that you might have, like maybe a fan Facebook page?
I do have a fan Facebook page called Gothic Indian YouTube channel.
All right, and then that can be looked up on Facebook. And Shauna, for you?
Yeah. Facebook.com/transheartgames.
Okay. And for me, you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Jeronis Leroy, JeronisLeror. And you can also find me at Facebook.com/ the same as my handle, so JeronisLeror hyphen. Hold on. Does my Facebook have a profile with a hyphen? No, it doesn't. So forget the hyphen. So just that chunk, and then add the letter P at the end. With that, good night.
And if you want to message me on anything, just message Gothic Indian and I'll get the message.
Yeah. So with that, our players have gotten themselves in a sticky situation. And a sticky situation, like caught between a rock, gargoyle, and a hard place. And the rock gargoyle is the pirates. The hard place is the bath. Anyway, bye.